Hi, my name is Shazad Ismail, and we're gonna be demonstrating our EE 201 Spring 2010 semester final project. It was made by me, Shazad Ismail, and my group members Alex Noonan and Kadra Alvaro. It's basically the Mastermind board game. If you don't know what it's about, it's a two-player board game, and like the first player has these makes a code over here using 6 different colors, and colors can be repeated, as you can see. The second player has to make these guesses, and the first player in turn gives hints in terms of a white peg and a black peg. So basically what these hints are telling the second player that the colors that you have guessed, what number are the correct colors in the incorrect position and correct colors in the correct position. So basically we wrote a code to implement this on the Xilinx Nexys 2 board, and we're gonna be recording how that works. So let's go ahead and program it using the Digilant Adapt system. Here, I'm gonna program. Programming. Program successful. Alright, so here you can see, hold on, let me see. Okay, here you can see our the chip is in the initial state. The number over here represents the try number. You have 12 tries to guess, but since you're the first player right now, so that doesn't matter for you. So you're in the initial state, and it gives you instructions in the second line. And the first 4 letters are for the guess, or the code, whatever. But since we don't have colors in this board, we made letters, and you can select those letters using these switches. So this is A, B, C, D, E, and F. This button is for reset, to reset the game at any point. You can see that. And this is the acknowledge button, which is the one, we just took it out of the initial state, so reset. See if it says press A, acknowledge. That's the acknowledge button. And this is the clear button. So if you're entering a guess and you're not sure of it, or you misentered or something, then you can go back and start re-entering the same guess. This is so you know you don't waste your tries. And this button here is a very special button that takes you back to your previous guesses and your hints. So as you can see in the board game, there are see several guesses you make, and the user can actually see his previous guesses, which is the point of the game. So we had to implement that into the board. So okay, so basically these are the buttons: reset, acknowledge, clear, and previous guess. This tells you the try numbers. This gives you the code. This is where you enter the code. This tells you IPCL. What we call IPCL is incorrect position, correct letters. So just like in the game. And CPCL is correct position, correct letters of your guess compared to the code. So here we're using a PMOD CLP display, as you can see for that. Parallel. Adjusted the jumpers over here to make that work. Alright, so it's connected, it's programmed. Now we're gonna hit acknowledge and go to the make code state. So now it's asking you to enter the code. So when you say, suppose we want a code to be A, B, C, D. Now, as you can see, if it wants me to enter the first letter right now, so the first letter is blinking A. If I go for B, it blinks B. So it tells you you're still selecting that letter and what letter you're going to be selecting if you press acknowledge. So if I say A, acknowledge, the second letter starts blinking and the first one is solid. If I say B, let's do A, B, B, C. B again, and C. Right? So that's my code. It gives you one last chance to acknowledge. If at this point, if I press clear, it's going to take me back to the first state, not initial state, the one right after. So it gives me a chance to re-enter it. So if I press acknowledge here, this is the guess making state. So you reset your switches, and then you pass it on to the second player. So the second player at this point can start making guesses. So if I were to say D C B. Now remember our okay, as you can see, the code entering process is similar. Same thing, you press acknowledge, it's gonna tell you. Now when I press acknowledge here, it's gonna using these two numbers, it's gonna tell me how many are in the incorrect position correct letters and how many are correct position correct letters. Now since our actual code is A, B, B, C, you can see none of these are in the correct position, but B and C are the correct letters but in incorrect positions. So this one letter over here should show you a 2, and this should remain 0. So when I press acknowledge, there it is. See? Now as you can see, this goes to 2 because this is your second try now. Press acknowledge and start making guesses again. A C BB. Okay. Now what should it show? Let's see. Our code was A B B C. 1 is correct. 2 are correct position, correct locations, right? Because A B B, and 1B and 1C are in correct position. So it should show 2 2 here when I press acknowledge. There it is. Okay, so our circuit is working fine. And let's just, for fun, just put something like I don't know, B C, because I want to show you the previous guesses after I put a few guesses in there. C B B A. Again, it should be 2 2 because B B are correct and A and C are out of place. 2 2, perfect. Now see, you're on your 4th guess, and at this point, what I'm gonna do right now is, while making a guess, oh man, I pressed reset right here. So okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and plug in ABBC again. I pressed reset and reset the game. I'm gonna, okay, ABBC. Alright, now I'm just gonna make some wild guesses here to show you the other function of the circuit. I pressed BBB, CCC. Let's do DDD. Should show zeros. Okay, 4th guess. Now while I'm making my 4th guess, I press this button over here to go to previous guesses. And as you can see, it takes me through my previous guesses and their hints, which is pretty amazing and useful. And then once you're done looking at your previous guesses, of course it only lets you see the guesses you've made. So if your number is 4 over here, it's only going to let you see 3 guesses. And once you press acknowledge, it takes you back to the guess making state. Make guess. And your 4th try. So if you get it right at this point, I'm going to plug in the right code here. A, B, B, C. A, B, B, and C. It says 4 correct position, correct letters, and once you press acknowledge again, it says you win! Yay! So now if you were to enter the wrong guess like 12 times, oh, this here number here is also in hex, so it doesn't, like, this digit doesn't change once it goes to after 9. So after 9 it goes to A, B, and then C. And then C would be your last guess. So that's about it. And yeah, thanks for looking at our video, and I'm gonna get to putting this on YouTube. Thank you. Goodbye.